G'day guys, how you doing? It's the Kiwi here with another video about being a man and going your own way. But just trying to figure this stuff out. But anyway, as the description section below talks about, it's about waking up. Literally waking up, man. But first I want to explain something, especially to you new subscribers, people that are new to the channel. When I first started the channel, and the first, I think it was about 6 months, and I explained that, or I've mentioned in other videos that I've died, and that I crossed over and experienced the other side, and I got to talk to my what I would call my soul guides or spirit guides, and then I was put back in my body by the entity that a lot of people would most probably call God. I was put back in my body by the hand of that entity. And pretty incredible experience, to say the least. Well, one of the things that I came back with in regards to knowledge, in regards to that experience, was, basically what life is about. And life is literally about waking up. It's about waking up to our own personal consciousness, having our own awakening and learning about who we are, what we are, and how we fit into the system that works here. Now, the reason why I can talk to you, the individual that is a man going his own way, is men that have decided to go their own way, predominantly throughout history, have always been free. They have always been a freer thinking group of people. You have to be a freer thinking person to actually wake up to the dogma of society. Am I wrong or am I right? I mean, truthfully, you have to have a more open mind to understand, that certain things just aren't right. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. You also, once you've started to realize this, the majority of you have less distractions in your life. And the less distractions that you have, the more awake you're going to become. The more aware you're going to become of what's going on around you and just how this whole system works. Okay? So that is what we would call becoming aware of your own personal consciousness, or awakening to your own consciousness. And that is an extremely healthy thing, not just for you as an individual, but for also society as a whole. See, society as a whole needs people that awaken. Society as a whole has always needed men to awaken to the actual lies and the dogma and the BS that's been perpetuated upon us throughout the history of the world. Because the man that's awakening is a man that allows the pendulum to swing. Doesn't matter if it's far right or far left. The man that is awakening allows the pendulum to swing back center. It starts to doesn't matter which side the pendulum is on, it starts to allow the pendulum to swing back to center. Now, the pendulum might take off in a different direction, but by the most part, people in the center, the person that's awakening to his own consciousness, his own fitting in the system, where he fits, okay, that individual is critical to the survival of humanity. Now, if you don't have those people in the middle, what happens? The pendulum either swings hard left or it'll swing hard right, and it stays out there. It doesn't come back. We saw that in Soviet Russia, where the actual Bolsheviks started to slaughter and murder all the freer thinking people. The people that were a threat to the waking up of the actual civilization. So, with that being said, what do we see right now? Well, we see a slow and sublime, under the radar in many respects, attack on channels in certain spheres that are about awakening people. It doesn't matter if it's men going their own way, or a channel about spiritual enlightenment, or a channel about awakening to a deeper consciousness inside of yourself. These channels are getting hit monetarily. Now, funnily enough, the channels that either swing far right or far left, they're still out there. They're still getting their money in some way, shape, or form. Some of them aren't, but for the most part, they're still getting some sort of AdSense or some sort of monetary funding in some way, shape, or form. Now, this is where the subversion comes in. The interesting thing is the channels that are doing really, really well for themselves are channels that are being funded by specific groups of people. Because when you start to understand how that specific group of people work, they play both sides. It's like the Second World War with the Nazis in Germany. There was actually a specific group of bankers on Wall Street in New York that were registered members of the Nazi Party and actually funded the Nazi Party and Adolf Hitler. As also they funded the Bolsheviks, the communists, because that's what the whole deal with the Second World War was about. It was about a war between National Socialism and communism. But the subverters get in underneath both sides of the fence. Now, the interesting thing about that is when you start to lose the people that are in the middle ground, the pendulum will either swing far right or it will swing far left. And in Germany, it was a war between, like I said, the communists and the Nazis. There was really nobody in the middle anymore to wake this population up, because if you were a centrist in the middle in Nazi Germany, if you were somebody that was talking out against the Nazi Party, what happened? You got arrested. You were taken away. What happened in Russia if you were standing around talking out against Stalin or Lenin? You got taken away. They got rid of the people that are in the middle. And that's what's happening here in the United States now. They're slowly but surely working away, inch by inch, step by step, bit by bit, of getting rid of the person in the middle, the individual that is actually waking people up. And that's why individuals like ourselves are so desperately needed right now. And the supposed elite or the Illuminati, these people at the top of the pile, they understand this. They understand how this whole system works. A lot of them understand that the ancient esoteric teachings of certain belief systems that go back thousands of years. They know how the universe works, and they know how to use the universe against us. They truly do. When I went through my divorce and I started to wake up, it was like the floodgates open. I was just like, oh my God, everything's an absolute racket. Everything. How these people play us is unbelievable. And the reality of the situation is the people that are in the middle are needed now more than anything else. We're needed more than any other group of people to actually keep the status quo. So the pendulum doesn't swing hard right or swing hard left. Because like I said, it doesn't matter if the pendulum swings hard right or hard left. The people at the top of the pile, they win. They always win. They never lose, because they always play both sides of the fence, and they send their subverters in. And trust me, I would love to throw out the names of some of the people that are on YouTube that are major subverters on the right. I'd love to do that, but I don't want to start a war between myself and other channels. And I want to bring that attention to myself. So the reality is that as people awaken to this consciousness, to their consciousness, and we're living in a time right now where we've moved into a whole new paradigm, literally a whole new paradigm where we are actually waking up to a new consciousness, a new human consciousness, okay? A new enlightenment. And here's the reality of the situation. These people at the top of the pile, they know that. And they're scared of it. That's why they're throwing everything that they've got in every possible way to absolutely bring about their end goals. Because, as I said, these specific individuals, they understand all these old esoteric teachings. But instead of using it for good, they just use it to line their own pockets with as much money and gold and whatever else you want to call it. They are some of the most sickest, disgusting human beings on the face of the earth. They've been needed for the past 2,500, 3,000 years, but now their time is over. These old dogs, they're going bye-bye, and it's a good thing. It's just, hopefully, we can kind of keep the ball rolling, and so long as we have the people that are in the center, people like yourself, people that are waking up, people that see the BS of how everything works, and are learning more and more and more and more and more every day about how this BS works, and are telling other people. Doesn't matter if people think you're a lunatic, put it out there. And so long as you're learning more and more and more, when you understand how the combined human consciousness works, many respects you don't even have to talk to other people, because once knowledge, truth, and wisdom starts to enter into your body, into your energy field, you're part of the entire consciousness of the planet. Everything is consciousness. Every single thing is consciousness. So the more information that you can actually absorb into yourself in regards to how everything works and the lies and the deceit and the dogma of our world, the more it's going to permeate out into the combined human consciousness. And right now, as I make this video, which is the beginning of December 2018, we are seeing France. France is on fire. Why is France on fire? Because the citizenry of France is absolutely sick and tired of the bullshit that's being perpetuated on them from the left. The whole global warming, climate change bullshit. The whole BS on the mass immigrations, multiculturalism, all this ism stuff that's been on the right, and it's absolutely raping their country. The citizenry are done, and it doesn't. People on both sides of the pendulum now are all coming together. Where are they coming together? Right in the middle. Right in the middle. So the individual, the man, or even the woman that's in the middle, that is waking up to the BS of society, we are needed today more than any other group of people on this planet. We are literally the ones that are truly going to bring about the absolute change. Because it doesn't matter here in the United States or England, if you're on the right or if you're on the left. At some point in time, you're going to come together in the middle and go, effing enough. We're done with this stuff. Game over. Kick these assholes that have been trying to perpetuate this litany of lies. Kick them out the frickin' back door. We don't need them. Never have needed them. Never will need them. So that's the video. I hope in some way, shape or form it's helped you. If you like the content, give it a thumbs up. And feel free to leave a comment. Be interested to see what you guys have got to say about this video. So until next time, keep waking up.